my Disney-esque musical theater fairy tale VTuber project going to get a stage musical. I have found out that a lot of you don't know what VTubers are, so I want to clarify a couple things to make sure we set the right expectations. During college, I did a huge paper on digital theater and the potential for VTubers to combine animation being the perfect medium for musical theater, as Howard Ashman would say, with the authentic performing experience of having live actors. Virtual YouTubers are like digital puppets that streamers and content creators use as their online personas. Even as a flesh YouTuber, I had a Calxiyn model for just when I didn't feel like being on camera. But I am really into VTubers who play a character, and of course the core of that character is still found in their real-life personality, but I like when it's a little bit like wrestling, where there's kayfabe and there's storylines and there's lore. There's a blend between fiction and reality in that sense. And imagine this, Epic the Musical, but with HoloLive technology, where the performers are in mocap and they are singing behind the curtain, so to speak. But on stage, you see a giant 20-foot-tall Poseidon model. These are projections onto the stage, and they look real. I think it's a very interesting idea because it combines the fantastical things that we can only do in animation with the authenticity of having real performers. Anyway, all that to say, I have had a very specific goal, which is to give people the experience of interacting with a character at Disneyland without having to go anywhere. You get to meet Ariel and she's playing a video game, where the level of engagement is also your choice, and there's a variety of different content like just chatting, ASMR, gaming, in addition to music, and if you choose, you can be part of the story versus just meeting the characters after their animated movie storylines. Now, I know I keep calling it a musical theater VTuber project, but I do want to make it a bit more clear that this was not written to be transferred to a stage context. It is VTuber first, musical second. It's also kind of part of the naming conventions for how you present yourself. For example, Calliope is a rapper, Grim Reaper themed VTuber, and so Soliana is a princess, musical theater themed VTuber. And so similarly to how Calliope is referred to but also does other things, Soliana will release music probably 2 to 4 times a year, depending on my finances, right? The difference is in the fact that it will be musical theater music. You can also think of it like a Monster of the Week show that has an overarching storyline. I want each live stream to tell a unique, self-contained story, whether it's how Soliana and Odyne work together to beat a very difficult game like Jump King, or something like silly and more cute, like Odyne acts like she's above this silly, girly game or whatever, but she's actually very emotionally invested, right? And really the big secret is that this is not as pretend as you would think. All these skillful and popular content creators at least go in with a plan for their live streams of what storylines could happen, and then they handle whatever emerges as they go or in the edit. Think about something as simple as, this is a really hard speed run and I'm gonna try to do it, and like the failures the content creator experiences along the way. And for a live stream, you just have to do that in real time and figure out what the funniest or most engaging story is. But yeah, so all of that to say, if you are interested in watching a princess and her villain play games that hit a little too close to home like Slay the Princess, and you aren't afraid of theater kids and roleplay, and you're looking for something a bit different than the normal content creator who is doing, challenge videos or whatnot, I hope that you'll give it a shot.